Welcome to our new range of cellophanes ready for that Valentine season. We always want to really make some dramatic impacts with our flowers within the business, and we're going to use this fabulous red metallic double black heart cellophane here that's been created for Valentine's, and mixing it with the wonderful hot pink metallic cellophane. We all have tulips at Valentine's, and we really want to make something totally different. So this is a great way that you can actually really make impact without actually having to use expensive foliages into a design. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to take the two cellophanes and we're going to sit them on top of each other, like so. And we're going to roughly take about 9 inches across, and we're going to cut the cellophane straight down in one long piece. Once we've done this, we're going to then take the cellophane into small segments, and we're going to cut, and roughly you will get 4 to 5 even pieces out of that one sheet, and you'll need roughly about 2 sheets of that size, so that gives you 10 pieces ready to start your design. So now we've got our segments already cut, and we're just going to literally just turn the segments so you get all these points showing. Turn the cellophane over and pinch in the middle, and then catch with your hand so it makes this wonderful little bunch of cellophane, like a little flower. We're now going to take a wire and fasten just around the edge of that cellophane, and I'm going to add a cocktail stick here, but you could just add any stems that you've got left off a flower, so that you can then make it look as if it's all naturally been made on a natural stem. I'm going to take the wonderful gutter, and we're just going to work down, and I'm just using this just to conceal the actual cocktail stick here. So if you imagine that this is just a natural stem, it will all fall together. So now we've got a collection of the cellophanes already, and you can just see by just bunching them together, that's immediately giving you that wonderful feel to start to make your hand tied. So we're going to take the tulips, and I'm just going to add just a very small minute selection of foliage, just some wonderful eucalyptus cineraria into the design. So first of all, we take our first cellophane, and we can then start to create your hand tied as you would normally create a round hand tied, making sure that all your flowers are going to spiral in one direction. So here I'm just going to use 20 tulips, and we can then start to just add in each of the cellophanes just to start giving bulk to the design. Add a little bit of eucalyptus for a bit more variety into the design, like so. So now we're starting to create, and you've got to remember that with tulips they will naturally grow, so this is giving quite a nice support to the tulips as well. And we can just make sure that the tulips are a little higher than the cellophane so we can actually see each flower, and we can carry on creating our round hand tied. This is a very popular design that we do when flowers are expensive, and it's one way of just creating that extra little touch into a hand tied without actually spending lots of valuable money. So we're working around the outside of this hand tied and just placing in the last of the cellophanes, like so. We can now carry on adding a little bit more of the eucalyptus. So we've used roughly about 5 sprigs of eucalyptus in the design, and we can carry on adding the wonderful red tulips. So this is helping to open the flowers perfectly, so you can see each flower in its own right. So you're giving your customer value for money. And it's actually creating a nice large hand tied. Just teasing anything into the right position. So just adding just the last few tulips, but as you can imagine, where I've used 20 tulips there here, even 10 tulips you can actually make look dramatic as well. So it can be a very cost-effective idea to create a stunning idea, because it's really giving that focus into the middle. I'm now going to take some twine and we're going to fasten around the outside of the hand tied. And if you just go through twice with the knot and then pull, that stops the actual string from slipping, so it keeps it nice and secure. And there we are now ready to wrap this wonderful hand tied. So we're going to first of all trim off any of the stems. And if you just gently give the hand tied a tap, it will already stand for you. So now we can take the wrap and finish off this stunning hand tied for Valentine's Day. With this design being quite short, we're actually going to have to make the wrap a little bit smaller. So I'm going to roughly take about 12 inches of the cellophane, and I'm going to turn it and cut it in half. So you've got 4 sheets, and this allows us then to fold each piece. So we're going to use the 2 colours, so we can mix the colours around. So now we've got the sheets ready, we can start to add them around the outside of the hand tied. So it's just cupping the hand tied and it's sitting nicely next to the flowers. So we can then take a small piece of sellotape and just take that around just to catch that piece of cellophane in place. We can take the next sheet and we gently tease this around the back. So we're mixing the 2 colours together. Take another of the hot pink in the same procedure. So I'm just catching just gently on each section, and I always, when I add a piece of cellophane, I just gently go around just to hold that in place around the base, and we can then now just finish off with this final piece. And to secure the cellophane at the bottom, I'm going to take the sellotape right around that binding point so it holds it all in place. So we're actually now really seeing those beautiful flowers without distracting with the cellophane, but it's giving a real accent to the actual hand tied. So now we just need to finish off the base of the hand tied. And we're going to use the wonderful black metallic with the double black heart. And what I'm going to do is just measure roughly to, so what I'm doing is I'm measuring the centre. So I can see 2 points there, so I can actually take my scissors and cut at that point, and then I can fold in half. So what this does is I'm actually utilising all my cellophane, so this one piece will cover this hand tied and the next piece will cover the next hand tied. So we're being very cost effective without actually having much waste. So now we can take the hand tied and we just sit the cellophane and just gently tease the cellophane around the base. Just take a small amount of twine just to fasten the cellophane around that base. And we're now just going to take some of the wonderful wired ribbon and I'm going to start off by just folding the ribbon, and I'm just going to twist. So I'm working in a figure 8 all the time, and I twist and go back to the middle, twist and back to the middle, twist and back to the middle. So it's always working in this figure 8 action. Tie off the ribbon, and this can be placed neatly around the base of the hand tied, always taking my twine all the way around and making sure that my knot is always hidden right underneath the ribbon, so it really sort of gives you that really nice lush feel. So now we have the finished item, and obviously we finished off with the bow, and it really creates an impulse buy and makes it look more expensive. The beauty of using the cellophane is a way of saving money, because foliage can be quite expensive, where using the cellophane is a lot cheaper and it fills the design out a lot quicker. Now, hand-tied made, we've gone and put the label on, so we've got our shop identification, and we've also added any care instructions that needed to be added to the hand-tied. But why not send it out in one of the little mini carry bags? Because obviously when you're making a petite design, you don't want it to have to go in one of the larger carrier bags. So here's a scaled down one, which is much easier for this sort of style. And there you have a real wonderful gift that's sure to please anybody at Valentine's Day.